Here are the study tips I used to get my Harvard degree in applied math. I'll start with my ideal process and then I'll give you some advice on cramming. I always start by making a cheat sheet. I go through all of my notes, lecture slides, etc., and I write down all the major definitions, formulas, and theorems. Most of my professors allowed a cheat sheet, but even if yours doesn't, summarizing all the material is a great way to study. And even if your exam is open book, it's nice to have all the major formulas handy so you don't have to go flipping through pages. Next, if it's available, take a practice test. Try to simulate the test environment as much as possible. Give yourself a time limit, don't use the internet. If your exam allows a cheat sheet, practice using it. Once you're done, check your work. Look at the questions you got wrong and then go back and review those sections of your notes. If you don't have solutions to the practice test, you have something I didn't have in undergrad, ChatGPT. Be careful because it's not a calculator and it sometimes gets things wrong, especially when it's higher level math, but it can really help if you're stuck on a problem. Next, try to redo old homework questions. If you don't have a lot of time, at least read all of the questions and think about how you would solve the problems. Now, ideally, you've completed steps 1 through 3 with enough time to go to office hours. Since you've done so much preparation, you now have niche questions that you couldn't answer by your own studying. And even if you don't have any questions come to mind, it's helpful to go and listen to questions other students have. If you still have time, first of all, congratulations. You can read about the math topics from different sources. Wikipedia usually does a good job of summarizing key concepts. You can also read the information on trusted math sites like Khan Academy, Wolfram Alpha, Paul's online math notes. And now the more realistic situation, you're cramming. Start by skimming over all of your class notes to remind yourself of the major topics you've covered. Flag topics that you don't remember learning at all and make sure you read those sections. Next, focus on topics that you see repeated throughout the material. And of course, if your instructor told you the exam is weighted more towards one section than another, spend more time there. If there's a question you don't understand at all and it was barely touched on in class, you can probably safely skip it. Of course, it depends on whether you're aiming for 100% or a passing grade. Even if you're short on time, I highly recommend at least skimming over all of your homework questions. Again, focus on any areas that the instructor highlighted. A lot of math teachers like to write test questions that look a lot like homework questions. Trust me, I used to be a math teacher. And I've saved my best study tip for last. Get off your phone and go study.